Hey guys, kind of felt like I wanted to jump in here and just do a quick discussion video, which I standardly don't do for Dokkan, but I definitely have seen a lot of commentary, that's the word I'll use for this, a lot of commentary from the JP player community about the Extreme Z Awakenings for LR Full Power Frieza and LR Namek Goku, the two, I believe it was 350 million download celebration characters, I think is what the number was. In fact, that might have been the last like download celebration they ever did. I don't think they ever did a 400 million. But yeah, the details for this character's EZA and then the Namek Goku's EZA are now out. Definitely characters that people have been waiting a long time for. Obviously, I would have, this is top 3 favorite character of all time for me, just because Namek Frieza is my favorite character from the series. I really enjoyed this character when he dropped. I thought he was just very fun to use. Damage, I'm a damage guy, so just really enjoyed the character. I have seen a lot of, again, commentary, displeasure, discourse amongst the JP player community about the details for these guys. I've already gone and looked at all of the details, so we can quickly go through them here. I'm not going to be reacting to this for the first time because I've already seen them. This is actually out of order a little bit. So we'll just go through Frieza and Goku real quick, and then I'll give my thoughts on what I've seen, and I'll give my idea on what I think the actual problem is. So the characters definitely seem pretty good, right? They're let's go through Frieza first. So 200% stats, 3 key, 20% damage reduction as his base effects. Every turn he's getting 1 key up to 3. After receiving an attack, he's getting 50% attack and defense. Guaranteed additional super attack for 4 turns. For every attack received, he's getting an extra key and 7% damage reduction to 20%. As the first attacker in a turn, he's getting 30% damage reduction. So in turn 1, he'll be at 70% damage reduction. As the second or third attacker in a turn, he's getting 50% attack. Great chance of launching additional super. Guards for the first turn. He's going to get 150% attack and defense for 6 turns from the character's entry turn. And then from the 7th turn, he's getting 100% attack. And then he is getting an additional buff of, 100% attack, 50% chance to crit against superclass enemies, and then guaranteed crits against a Goku enemy. Super attack effects, 12 key. We have a great infinite stack for attack. 1 turn of 30% defense raise. I think it's 30%. I don't think it'll be 20. I think it's 30. And then the 18 key is a great infinite stack to both attack and defense, which is, of course, very strong. So I am looking at this character. By the way, I think the way you probably want to use this guy is you probably want to have him be in slot 1 right away, turn 1. Give him the 70% damage reduction. I guess have him build up to 70% damage reduction. Have the guard active. Have him lock down slot 1 right away. And then I think probably on his second turn, you might want to just move him over to slot 2, because this will still be active, right? The after receiving an attack effect will still be active, so you will be able to potentially super with him 4 times, right? The normal attack, you're going to get this attack off, you're going to get this attack off, well, hopefully it's a great chance. I don't know why they didn't just make this guaranteed, but this is going to proc in slot 2 or 3, and then the hidden potential system, so you can do a lot of damage, a lot of stacking in slot 2 with this character. So, I mean, we'll just go through Goku, and then I'll give my breakdown on what I'm seeing and what I think the problems are. So here is Namek Goku. Okay, Goku's also in the wrong order. I want to do this. Wait. Where is... Oh, this is just the full thing. Okay, Goku's is only 1 page. Okay, so Goku, 3 key, 200% attack and defense, 20% damage reduction, 1 key start of every turn, launches an additional super attack for 4 turns after receiving an attack. For every attack received, he's going to get 1 key and 20% stats up to 59%. As the first attacker in a turn, he's getting 59% attack and 30% damage reduction. So he's going to be at 50% damage reduction. Second or third attacker, he's getting 100% attack and launch additional super attack, which is guaranteed instead of Frieza's, which is a 7% chance. I don't really get why it's different. For 6 turns from the character's entry turn, guard. So he's going to have guard for 6 turns, whereas Frieza only has guard for the first turn. When there's an extreme class enemy, he's getting attack plus 59%, 50% chance to do crits. And then against Frieza enemies, he's guaranteed critting. Super tech effects, so he has pretty much the opposite of what Frieza has. Great raise infinitely on the 18 key, and then 12 key is giving him the 50% infinite defense raise, and then the regular attack raise for 1 turn. So gonna be able to stack defense much more quickly and rapidly with the Goku, because his 12 key also raises defense. So my initial thoughts here when I read these is, I think if you take a look at everything we have in the game right now, and I actually haven't gotten around to doing yet, there's a new event that dropped today. I believe it's called like the Formidable Enemy event or something like that. I haven't done that yet. I am assuming it is not tougher than the toughest piece of content that already exists in the game, which is probably like Goku and Frieza. The memorable battles, Super Gogeta, Super Janemba stages are still pretty tough, but they're structured differently, obviously. But I mean, I don't think the new stages are tougher than what we already have in the game. And I think taking a look at these characters and what they're doing and bringing to the table right now, I think, and this is not really a question of, oh, let's wait to use the characters in game, because for the most part in Dokkan, you don't really need to. You can kind of take a look at the characters and pretty much know how good they're going to be right away. It's not like Legends where like you actually have to wait. Like, I don't want to pull up like a Legends character, but this is like 15% of a Legends character's kit, right? And Dokkan is much more of a basic, like it is a true mobile game. It is a basic game that is much more technical when it comes to just like straight math. Whereas Legends, there's a lot more interactions between different things that are happening. Like there's different scenarios that happen. It's much more difficult. It's basically, at this point, it is impossible in Legends to really take a look at a character on paper and judge with any degree of accuracy how good they are. But with Dokkan, I feel like you can kind of get a good idea of how good a character's going to be by just taking a look at what they do. I think both of these characters should be very good in the current game. Taking a look at all the current events, taking into consideration how tough and how hard all the enemy characters are in terms of how hard they hit, how much HP they have, all the different mechanics that exist right now, the current quote unquote meta abilities, right? Is there locking? Is there sealing? Is there dodge canceling? What are the current enemies doing that really separate this meta from like past metas we've had with like AoEs and stuff like that? I think when you consider everything that Goku and everything that Frieza are doing, I think they're both going to be performing extremely well right now. So I really don't have any major issues with these guys as they are performing right now. The problem is typically what we see during major celebrations, especially anniversaries, is the deeper we get into an anniversary celebration, the more rapidly difficult events get and the more power creep ramps up, right? So typically what we see is we'll see in the anniversary massive event power creep, and then it will pretty much be stagnant for months and months and months. We get to like worldwide in like August/September. That's when we see events come out that are either equal to or even more difficult typically than the anniversary events. So it's really those 2 points during the year that we see these difficulty spikes in how the game delivers content to its player base. So we are right now in a position where we are probably about to get like significantly more difficult fights. So that's why I'm kind of thinking when I'm looking at these characters' kits, I'm reading these and I'm thinking to myself, they're good right now, but I mean, it's going to completely depend on how difficult the content we're about to get in like 2 weeks is. In like 2 or 3 weeks from now, when we have the part 2 characters out, when we have more EZAs out, when we have more super EZAs out, right? We know for sure we're probably getting the 7th anniversary character EZAs. We know we're probably getting the Saiyan Saga LR, Kaioken Goku, and Great Ape Vegeta EZAs. We know we're getting Super EZA Tech Cell. The part 2 characters, we know we're getting at least 4 summonable characters, right? The 2 carnivals plus the Dokkan Fest and the banner unit. How tough are these events going to be? And even though these guys are both going to be good enough, I think right now to pretty much be safe in every event that exists, are they still going to maintain that posture moving into the tougher fights? I don't know. I mean, I don't know how tough they're actually going to make the tougher fights, but I mean, if we compare like these guys EZAs to like Super Vegito, is it even like, are they even operating on the same plane of existence? I would probably say no. I don't think it's even compared. Like, you take a look at someone like Goku, who's going to be ran on the team with Vegeta, right? Goku is actually, I think, suited pretty well because he's immediately on a 220% leader skill with Vegeta's leader skill, and he should link up very well with the rest of the team because a lot of the other characters are just standard Saiyans with standard Super Saiyan link sets. So Goku, I think, is actually going to be in a pretty good spot right away, but if you're using that team and you're using this Namek Goku next to Super Vegeta, it's like you will probably see a very clear difference in the power level of these characters, which is kind of strange because, you know, this is not a new character, but it's a brand new Dokkan Fest LR EZA. Frieza, I'm a little bit more worried about, not just because I think not because I think Frieza is just got a worse kit overall. I don't think that's the case, but it's more so just who he's surrounded by. He definitely doesn't have as good teams, right? You can throw him on like Int Broly's team, but the problem is Broly, number one, Frieza, for whatever reason, it's not. I think Frieza not being an uncontrollable power is certainly a mistake. I mean, you could take a look at the. I don't have the manga panel actually pulled up in front of me here, but there is literally a line in the manga quoted. It says like, I think it's when Vegeta is fighting first form Frieza, and he reveals that he knows that Frieza can transform. He's like, "Oh, Frieza's concealing his true power by not being able to transform." And Frieza's like, literally says, "I don't transform into my true form because I have a tough time controlling my power." That's literally the quote of what he says. So I mean, it probably should be an uncontrollable. And by the way, Frost from the Universe 6 vs 7 tournament. When Frost first transforms into his final form, I'm pretty sure he also says he has difficulty controlling the power in this form, his power in this form. So I think Frost should also, I mean, obviously this doesn't really matter, but Frost, I think, actually should also be on uncontrollable power, along with Namek, specifically Namek final form and full power Frieza should also be on uncontrollable power. And that would matter because that would allow Broly's domain to be activated early with his active skill. It would allow Frieza to get, I think, what the extra buffs, I think. I don't remember if that's the case or not, but it would help the team if Frieza was on uncontrollable power. The bigger problem, though, I think, is just the fact that the Broly's don't have big bad bosses. So that would help hurt this guy a little bit, too. But I guess we're kind of just waiting here for new extreme class leaders. I mean, this is kind of a similar spot to where we were when the 7th anniversary dropped and we had the 200% leader skills where, we had the two not fusing, but the two 7th anniversary LRs drop. And the first character, the first Dokkan Fest after the anniversary was Ginyu, where, they were really, really on the ball with getting us an extreme class leader. I think that's probably what's going to happen here too. After the 10th anniversary, I would probably expect the first Dokkan Fest to be an extreme character. Just because you got to get these 220% leads accessible to as many characters as fast as possible. So yeah, I mean, the problem I'm seeing here is they're not really at a disadvantage right now, but the question will be, how do they fare in content that we haven't gotten yet, that we're about to get in like 2 or 3 weeks from now? We'll see. I think they're kind of like on the cusp of being top tier right now. So is that really going to hold true for the rest of the anniversary, and especially as we move forward from the anniversary, like Golden Week? Tanabata typically gives us very tough content. Like Tanabata gave us the Goku and Frieza fight. We'll see. So that is what I think personally about these characters, EZAs. And I have actually pulled up every single Dokkan Fest LR EZA that we've gotten in the past. There really aren't that many, but I just kind of want to go through all of these and kind of just reminisce, I guess, I don't know, look back and think about how good these EZAs were for these characters when they got their EZAs. I certainly wouldn't say anything like, oh, these guys are the worst Dokkan Fest LR EZAs we've ever gotten. That's certainly not true. But number one, these are very, very, very popular characters, literally from the most iconic fight probably in anime history, right? Super Saiyan Goku versus Full Power Frieza. This is the 10th anniversary. That's also something to mention as well. Like, this is not just a normal celebration. This is the 10th anniversary of the game, the biggest celebration of all time. Let's go through here, some of these characters. So we have the 3rd anniversary LR EZAs. I think these guys have a solid argument for being probably the weakest Dokkan Fest LR EZAs we've ever gotten. These were the first ones. I wonder if they kind of just weren't sure how good they wanted to make Dokkan Fest LR EZAs at the time. Because we got these guys, and then we immediately then got the Super Saiyan 4s, right? We could even take a look at the time here. February 22nd was when these guys got their EZAs, and then the Super Saiyan 4s got their EZAs on March 1st, so it was like a little bit over a week after. But these guys were really good. When these guys got their EZAs at the end of the 7th anniversary, right? These guys got their EZAs announced at the same time as Captain Ginyu's Dokkan Fest announcement in the news. And these guys were like crazy good next to the 7th anniversary 4s, the Super Saiyan 4s. So yeah, these guys were on a different level completely from these guys. So I think for like fans of the 3rd anniversary fusions, they were kind of upset about this. Next, we have this character. This character is in a similar spot, I think, to like these guys were, where these guys really weren't that impressive either when they got their EZAs. This is not like an anniversary or a worldwide character. This is a Tanabata LR. So I'm not sure if like the bar is set lower for them or how they view this than on the development team, but this character's EZA certainly wasn't really treated the way you would expect a Dokkan Fest LR EZA to be treated. It was also dropped in like just a very random time. It was when I believe it was when physical Dokkan Fest Turles, I think it was in his celebration when we got this character's EZA, and people were very confused as to why they would give it to this character as opposed to like the LR Turles character. And I still don't know the answer. I don't know. Beats me. I don't know. Next, we had the first LRs from the worldwide celebrations. Is the transforming quote unquote transforming Super Saiyan Gohan and Perfect Form Cell. These guys, I think they dropped right after the superhero characters, right before the 8th anniversary. Yeah, these guys were really good. I remember when these guys dropped, and like this Gohan, you would kind of just throw him on any team. This is probably kind of going to be close to what we see with Namek Goku. Like this Gohan has a similar design to Namek Goku. He's stacking and he's got a good link set. He's on a million teams. That's essentially what Namek Goku's doing. But Namek Goku now, especially with his EZA, he's got more specific tools to wanting to be ran in like slot 1 and stuff like that, and stack up and get the extra super attacks off. But this Gohan was really good when he EZA'd, and then the same thing goes with Cell. I mean, these were like dynamite LR Dokkan Fest EZAs. Then we had the 5th anniversary LRs, who also were really, really good. I think there's like there's a very tangible difference, it almost feels like, between this character and when these guys, like between here and here. There might have been like a design philosophy change in the development and in the mindset of the development team, where they were like, guys, we should probably make these LR EZAs just like, or these Dokkan Fest LR EZAs just equivalent to like new summonable Dokkan Fest LR characters almost, because these guys are really good. The 5th anniversary LRs were crazy when they EZA'd. They were insanely good. This character was also a Tanabata LR, Dokkan Fest LR. They EZA'd during the 9th anniversary. This character was incredibly good as well. I probably wouldn't put them in the same levels like the 5th anniversary EZAs when they got their EZAs, but this character was really, really good. Then of course, I don't really even need to go into these guys, right? I mean, these are still pretty recent. They only dropped a year ago on JP, but on global, I mean, July 31st, 2024, we're talking like 6-7 months ago for these guys dropping. So, yeah, these guys are still like really, really strong. They're competing in modern content. Like, people are looking at the new STR Evolution Blue Vegeta, and a lot of people are saying that they think this guy, they like his performance better. And I definitely I could see it, right? I mean, this guy has the revive. He's got the guarding in the first turn. He's got the easy access to the additionals, the damage reduction. Like, there's an argument for sure to have this guy over the STR one, which is kind of crazy, right? 10th anniversary summonable Carnival LR. This guy's EZA from 4 years ago is better. It's a little weird, but that's just a testament to how good they are. And then of course we have these guys. This was the 2020 worldwide LR. Yeah, the Buhan and transforming Vegito or fusing Vegito. These Buhan was incredibly good. And he still is actually really good. I did a video recently, I believe it was... What video was it? It might have been the Int Buhan Super EZA showcase, where I had this guy at like 2.5 million defense before he attacks or something. Like, it was just like, this guy looks insane. He's still really good. I think this Vegito, they probably didn't know a good way of designing this character because of just the way that the counters worked after he fused. You know what? This character kind of like this character, his design, it's like the new LR Super Vegito, except they didn't balance his counters. This character, you could tell that they balanced his counters, but with the new one, they didn't even try and balance his counters. I mean, this character, and the thing about this unit too is we can probably use this character as the best sort of like guide stick for Goku and Frieza. I think this character probably is going to be the closest to what we see with Namek, Goku, and Full Power Frieza. And the way that I'm measuring that, I guess, is when this character, I'm talking about from the JP perspective, when this character dropped for JP Dokkan at the end of the 9th anniversary, right? March 1st, 2024. This character was in a very good spot. They were in a pretty good spot. I don't know if I'd say very good spot, but they were in a really good spot. They were very effective in the current content that was out at the time. They were able to stack their stats pretty effectively and all the content, because a lot of the content back then was pretty long. And overall, the character was just in a pretty good spot. But as we got tougher content throughout the year, this character, I would say, didn't really see the greatest lifespan, right? And then you take a look at them now. I think now they actually probably could be okay on the Super Vegito team, right? So I don't know, we'll see. But this is kind of what I'm worried about with the Namek, Goku, and Full Power Frieza, is that they'll be good now, but if they're going to be on the cusp of being great right now, that's not really a good sign for the future, because events are only going to get tougher. Like we're not going to get tons of events that are releasing that are going to be like easier than what we have. That's not how the game works. So we have these guys and Buhan. And then, of course, the most recent Dokkan Fest LR EZA is the Tech Gogeta here, who I would probably say, like, if we take a look at the Namek, Goku, and Full Power Frieza, are they just not going to be as good as this character? Like, there's probably an argument that you could make where it's like this character is just straight up better, straight up better than Namek, Goku, and Full Power Frieza, which kind of doesn't make any sense. Number one, this character is not even an anniversary LR or a worldwide talent celebration LR. They're just a Tanabata LR, which, you know, still a Dokkan Fest LR, and it's still Super Gogeta, who's obviously extremely popular. But to me, it just feels like anniversary Dokkan Fest LRs and worldwide celebration Dokkan Fest LRs should probably just be like one notch higher than Tanabata LRs, just due to the fact that they're the bigger celebrations. We'll see though. We'll see. And so I guess what I'm going to address now is more so just the community's reaction. And when I say the community's reaction, this is more so the JP community's reaction, because I typically don't keep up as much with the even in Legends. I don't really keep up with like the social media community. You know, I'll like poke in here and there to see what's going on, but I wouldn't really say I'm like super entrenched in everything. But you know, I was looking around social media when these guys were announced with their EZAs, and just to see what people were saying. And you know, I typically don't really see the JP community as up in arms about specifically EZAs as I did with this. I would, these guys' announcements, I don't know if I've ever seen, especially in Dokkan, I don't know if I've ever seen the JP Dokkan community as fired up about EZAs as I have with this character's EZA, and then of course Namek, Goku as well. They seem to be very, very outraged about the announcements here. I guess they just don't think they're good enough. And I think there's really one common theme that I'm seeing from a lot of the commentary from the JP community. And I think this, to me, probably is the root cause of the, well, I don't want to say all of the outrage, because it's impossible to really say this is why this is happening in full. But I think a lot of the responsibility, or not the responsibility, but I think a lot of the cause of outrage has to do with this character. And I'm actually going to put the blame on Super EZA Buhan for this. I specifically have this guy pulled up here for a reason. Don't really know what they were going for with this guy. Like, did they intend to just make him like the best character in the game, or what did they think was going to happen when they designed him like this? 66% damage reduction, guaranteed crit, supporting, orb changing, like guaranteed 50 million crits, double supers, additionals. Did they just think this was going to be on par with the other EZAs, or what? Like, what was their mindset here? Did they intend to make him just like the best character? Like, what was their design philosophy here? I don't know. And I think as a consequence of them doing this, now people are looking at this and they're like, okay, why is some random Dokkan Fest nobody character from 9 years ago just like completely eclipsing 10th anniversary Dokkan Fest LR EZAs? Right? We're getting a Dokkan Fest LR EZA, dual EZA for the worldwide download celebration Namek, Goku, and Full Power Frieza. Why is this random Dokkan Fest Buhan from 9 years ago just like leagues better? And that's the most prominent comment I've seen from people. That is the biggest, I think, cause of concern that a lot of people have is why is this the case? I don't know if it's more so outrage or just confusion over that. Like, people are just confused. And I actually would have to, I am confused too, right? I mean, I don't think I'm disappointed so much with the, again, I don't think they're bad. I'm not disappointed with the Full Power Frieza and Namek Goku EZAs. I would also like to know, why is this guy so much better? I don't think is that an unreasonable question? I don't think so. To me, you look at the history of essentially like, I mean, again, there's a few exceptions here. Like, these guys weren't great. But like basically like every single Dokkan Fest LR EZA was like a knockout home run, 5-course meal, Michelin star course, you know? And I don't think these guys are gonna be like, oh my god, they're an anomaly. They're like a, you know, McDonald's take-home meal. Like, that's not what I'm saying, but we gotta have like a measuring stick here. Like, this guy just got a Super EZA. Why is there such a big difference? what is the point? Why would they do that? Like, you know, I think the issue more so probably falls with this character though, right? As opposed to the Namek, Goku, and Full Power Frieza. I'm taking a look at this character and I'm like, this is just they messed up, I guess. Like. But I mean, it's still on them, right? They still release the character like this, and them knowing they were going to release the character like this, like, they could have just modified the other characters, right? If they didn't want to, like, you know, make this guy weaker or for whatever reason, they could have taken a look at, I don't know, Super EZA, Super Vegito, or Super EZA, Super Gogeta, and try to make them a little bit on, because so far none of the EZAs, none of the Super EZAs are even remotely close to this character. Like, this is like, this is just like a mistake, right? This is like just they forgot to, again, I think I made the same comment in, I don't remember which video it was, but I made the same comment in a video a few videos ago. I'm like, they just like forgot to delete a 0 from somewhere from this character. Like, they just forgot to delete a digit, and so he's got like an extra like multiplier of 10 attached to something. But yeah, this is like, I don't, to me, it almost feels like they kind of boxed themselves in with this guy. Because if this guy had not dropped, or if he had not dropped even close to as good as he did, I don't think we would be seeing as much pushback against these guys' EZAs. I don't think so at all. I think it's mostly this character. I think this is probably the root cause of a lot of people's concerns and a lot of people's outrage is this character, more so than the actual EZAs of Goku and Frieza. But you guys can let me know what you think. This is not something I typically do with Dokkan anymore, but I just saw a lot of uproar about this specific announcement for the EZA Goku and Frieza characters. But this is what I think. So you guys can let me know what you think as well. Hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.